Welcome back, Scroopies. I just want to take this moment to apologize. For those of you who've seen the ARW review show, you might have noticed the sudden abrupt ending. Well, there was a reason for that. Due to the calloused, irresponsible, and just downright disrespectful behavior Big Shot Joe was showing our guest, Jerry Swirlz. We could not risk any more embarrassment, and we immediately stopped filming.
It's true.
So, but we do have a special little something for you now. As you see, Jerry's still here.
What's up?
And he has agreed, despite
Joey's
the
antics.
unruly behavior of Joseph,
It's
who
the
has
big
promised
Don't worry, he's
to behave
shot. It's Big Shot
for this. He has agreed to have an interview and talk with us
wrestling.
here on the 321 Screw. So without any further ado, I bring to you Jerry Swirlz.
Hello, people. Hello, welcome to the 321 Screw interview. Probably going to be one of the best ones, in my opinion. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
It could be. It could be.
Anyway.
So again, let's start off with saying welcome. It truly is an honor
Thank you.
to have the one and only Golden Girl Jerry Swirlz.
Golden Girl's favorite.
Golden Girl's favorite, excuse me.
That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You didn't cause any trouble.
And it's man,
I can just feel the stare, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
having me a fanboy moment. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. This man just had a match against Swoggle. Yeah, that guy.
Swoggle.
So, I just want to start. Let's introduce yourself, man. Give us a little something.
Well, I mean, my name, as many people know, the Golden Girl's favorite, Jerry Swirlz, and, I've been wrestling for 3 years now. 3 years.
3 years.
I've gotten my start in this business as a referee. For many people that don't know, I was the curly-headed, crooked ref, Jerry Curls.
Okay. Before mine and Bill's time with ARW. Okay.
Yes, a little bit. Yes, it was.
Jerry Curls. I like it.
I had, wanted an opportunity. Many people, when I first got into wrestling, it was with me and my dad. We had watched. I grew up in the ruthless aggression era. My dad and I.
Right.
Okay.
Obviously, some of the few wrestlers that I got to grow up and admire and love were Rey Mysterio, John Cena. Believe it or not, Billy Gunn, when he was there for a cup of coffee, when he teamed up with Hardcore Holly for a little while, I was enjoying and reminiscent of that. I remember the Kurt Angle, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels when they were fighting each other.
Oh, that was an amazing rivalry, dude.
Yes. It never really came to or fruition of me wanting to actually wrestle, but one day when I went to Atomic Wrestling Entertainment at the time that it was known, now known as ARW, of course, I went to a show, my second show, and I remember seeing the main event was called Summer Sizzle. It was between Chico Adams and the former Atomic Revolutionary Heavyweight Champion Shannon Moore. And after that match, after all of that, it made me realize how much that there is a chance for me to actually do this. So, I stayed afterwards. I helped tear down the ring. I got to talking to Jason Dugan, believe it or not, of all people. And he told me that there's a school up in Orlando. You should go check it out. And it kind of went from there.
Right on. What was the school? If you don't mind just asking.
Is it still there?
It's kind of a touchy subject, but
Okay.
I went to let's just say I went to a better school, a better school, and now I was training over at 2.0 for a hot minute.
Okay.
Obviously, I got to train under the tutelage of Alex the Pug Porto. I was under the guidance of him. I also got to train a little bit with Cedric Alexander when he was there.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
Cedric. Right.
Her business.
Love Cedric. Big Swole was there too. Eric Lockhart of Booker T's wrestling school from Reality of Wrestling was an honor. And, I also got to have Coach A. Steele, now that he's back in NXT as a head coach. when he was there for a little bit, I got to learn from him as well. And it's just
Right on.
it's kind of just going up from there. And of course, how can I not mention WXW was there when the pandemic when the pandemic first broke out. WXW needed a school. They got kicked out of their original school, or they weren't renewed for their release or something like that. I don't really know. I'm not going to get too political into that kind of aspect. But when W 2.0 and WXW shared a little joint show for a time, joint together at the time, and I was very privileged and blessed to be a part of that. And I've also gotten to do some WXW stuff too now. Finally, thank you, pops. There's just. I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed to have learned that much knowledge and gained that.
That's awesome, Jerry. Right on, dude.
Well, I mean, you named a few guys that you used to watch growing up. One of my questions that I had for you is, who would you say growing up, who was your favorite?
If you had to pick one.
If I really,
It's hard, isn't it?
it's tough. You know what? I will say of all time, AJ Styles.
AJ Styles.
I'll say,
That's a good damn
Very good
choice.
choice, AJ Styles.
It's really a toss-up between him and Billy Gunn. I mean, obviously, for reasons that I pick AJ Styles is, TNA was just starting, I think it was in 2002. I didn't really know about TNA until 2005, late 2005, early 2006.
Right,
And I remember I watched him, and I remember thinking, dang, this dude is awesome. And, I remember when he was in in Christian's Coalition with Tom Coe and Christian Cage. And I remember, he was the Prince of Phenomenal. And, I thought it was funny. I thought it was great. I remember the wedding that he had with Kurt Angle's ex-wife, Karen Jarrett. I remember that. I do remember that when he besmooched her in the live TNA wrestling wedding. Of course, weddings and wrestling.
Right.
Go hand in hand. Go figure. When is that ever going to happen
Well,
again?
Mach up there, man, he had one of the most famous weddings
he
in
did.
WWE.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But, AJ Styles, he did something that not many people can really say that they've done. When he left TNA, I mean, sure, it was on bad terms, but he went out to other wrestling companies.
Yeah.
He went to PWG, he went to Ring of Honor, he went to Japan, and then
He blew up in Japan.
he
dude.
blew up big in Japan, and then
Part of the
and
Bullet Club.
part of Bullet Club. I mean, he wrestled Okada, Shinsuke Nakamura. I could talk days about those matches, and they're some of my personal favorites.
Oh yeah.
And
dude.
now that he's in WWE, I mean, the fact that he's been there for over 6 years now, I think.
Yeah.
He's accomplished.
That right there inspires me to say, dang, this dude is still going, still has the same moveset. Yeah, now he's in a tag team, of course, but that gives me hope. That gives me something to realize, fuck, he
To me-
is an inspiration.
To me, honestly, AJ Styles, to me, is probably this era's best worker, best technician, best all-around wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, to me, he's in my top 5 for this generation.
Absolutely.
He's in my top 3.
Easily. Top 3.
So, a couple other questions like I have, focusing on your character. One, I gotta ask, were you actually a fan of the Golden Girls TV show?
Alright, so let's clear the air on this one. So, I got into Golden Girls a little later on. Believe it or not, this is a funny story that I'm going to share, and I don't really share this on.
Share away.
Here we go. So,
321 exclusive.
this is paint the picture here. WrestleMania 34. I'm on the road going to see it, and I'm just new at the time. So it's
Right.
Jason and Red, Alex Red and Jason Newcomb were with me. We all went, and I remember we went to a Walmart, and I remember I didn't have much money at the time. I was making pennies. I was just not making that money, and I remember I packed all my clothes, and it rained all the way over there, and I don't know how, but I didn't have an extra shirt packed in time. So I was cold. And it's pouring buckets of rain outside. We're in the middle of a Walmart. I'm all drenched up. I'm freezing. I only have a jacket and pants. And, I remember we went into the Walmart section to go find a t-shirt. And right there immediately I saw the Golden Girls t-shirt. And I said, yes, I want to wear this. And I put it on, zipped the jacket up, and never looked back ever since.
Nice.
But I will say after that, that's when I started to actually watch the show. Obviously, I know about Betty White's work from prior.
Yeah.
I've seen her movies. I've seen one movie that she did, and not many people can really remember it, but it was one with like aliens, I think, and I remember like it was about some mind control. She was like doing all this kung fu stuff and everything. I was like, man, she's fucking badass. Do you guys know what movie I'm talking about?
No, I thought you were gonna reference Lake Placid. For
Yeah, that's my favorite Lake
I
Placid,
love
Betty
Placid.
White, Lake Placid. That one and the proposal with
Oh God, that one.
Ryan
with
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock. Yeah,
That's
she's-
one chick flick
She's
I'll watch.
she's the grandmother. She's funny as shit.
Oh,
She
there
is,
was
dude.
one movie that made me tear up. It was when I don't remember the name of it, but it was at the end where her husband's in the military and they're carrying her casket and she's waiting for him to come back. And to see that kind of like broke my heart. I was like, damn, she's a freaking good actress.
She is, man.
Loved her. But
She's a national treasure.
How about that
man.
B. Arthur?
She's a national treasure.
don't get
She
me
was Maud.
don't get me started.
And then there was Maud.
Shut up, trash.
I said. What'd you say?
He's starting it
Here we
again.
go again. Here we go again.
Anyway,
No, I just
shut
had
this one
to.
up.
I had to.
Let's get
So-
through this
Sorry,
interview.
Jerry.
you're getting yours. You're getting yours
Let
later.
me,
Oh boy.
let me ask you, in your ARW career that you've had, what's like your most memorable moment? You know, your favorite matchup that you've
There had to
had.
be a lot.
Oh
too.
my God, there is a lot.
It's not
Definitely
difficult.
the Swagger match is in the top 3 for sure. That
Right on.
Obviously,
Fair enough.
that is up there. Man, there's just, you know what? I will say this: the Vertigo Tap or Die match is up there for sure because Vertigo brought. I think Vertigo, in my opinion, brought the best out of me. In my opinion,
Which show was that at?
that was.
'Cause I think we
That
were
was
at
at actually I think you guys were. That was at the it was at the I know it was a Stranger Things thing episode. I think it's actually
Yeah, the
right up
Halloween.
here. There it is. Blood, Sweat, and Fears.
That's it.
Although I'm not on the flyer on that one.
It used to crack me up
It's okay.
too, man, with you guys
Didn't
tag
you go
teaming
through a door on that one?
and Vertigo's trying to figure out what the hell is he doing. Like
Hey man, I'm trying to win for the team here. What can I say? I'm just winning for the team.
it was
That's
just
no big deal.
I liked your guys' dynamic. Like he would,
But
you know.
yes.
Okay.
But that is definitely the number. That's definitely up there. I gotta talk about it. The cinematic match was actually
Yes.
Star. We have to talk about
Yes.
it. Of course.
Yes, let's
Out
talk
of the
about it.
Lunatic League compound.
So again, paint the picture here.
Oh, lunatic.
Old Lunatic Lee's house.
Ran him over with a truck.
Or compound, I should say. Man, if you actually look back at that video, like at how much I weighed, I was 245 pounds during the filming of that, and it's like hot outside at this time. Pandemic and all too.
Yeah, you were running through your life.
And there
through
was
most of
no wrestling was going on at this time.
And your
And
Golden Girl pants. Yeah, man.
that and my Golden Girl shoes.
it. Yeah.
One of a kind. But the match itself, I mean, we went through tit for tat, loops. We broke the realm of reality. We got out of the reality. I mean, like we saw little clips of my past. We saw a little bit of, a certain inner old Betty inside. A certain person that's been kept inside for a long time. In case she needs to come out once again, we'll see when that.
Yeah.
I pick and choose when that comes.
She's almost like your
Alter
demon.
ego.
My
Your
spirit
demon, like
animal.
Finn Balor has the demon.
Oh
He's
yeah.
got.
Oh, okay.
He's got the Betty White.
You don't.
Did you guys hear something?
You don't say her name too loud.
Not in vain.
She will appear.
And a friend.
She will appear.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, all right. So we asked you about your favorite matchup. How about just your fondest memory of your time with ARW? It didn't necessarily have to have been a match that you were in. Just like
Maybe just a moment.
a moment, something that you
All right.
always remember.
There's a lot of moments. There is definitely one that does stick out a lot for me. And it's actually, many people wouldn't think it, but it's actually the end of the Tap or Die match where I didn't expect this to happen either. I just went through hell and back it showed my prone body laying down, and all I felt was this handshake, just bring me up, and all I heard was good shit, kid. The hand was drooped. I got up, and I remember just bawling, and I remember thinking, wow, I did it.
Right.
I remember that match, dude.
I think that moment right there sits in stone for me. I mean, like, that's more of a serious moment for me.
Yeah.
Now, if I want to talk about lighthearted moment, you can look back at this match too and watch. Chrissy Vane and Roxy Rouge against me and my beautiful Baywatch babe,
Pamela.
Big Queen Pamela.
Reindeer games.
There is actually a moment, and I remember I was sitting in the corner. Chrissy wanted to do the Betty White bump, the booty, the
Right.
booty, the thing that I always do with my butt, where I spread my legs and my ass, my moneymaker shows basically.
Right.
Now, Chrissy, not many people know this, but when she was back in WEW, and then for those of you that don't know what that stands for, that's Women's Extreme Wrestling, which is an old women's wrestling. Like, if you want to talk about like the 2004, 2008 bra and panties type of deal kind of days, think about that, but times up 1,000.
Yeah.
She used and she used to do this on the Indies with her old tag team partner Aaron O'Neill and Team Blondage.
Team Blondage. I like that, man.
Oh, you look it up. There's actual footage of her.
Team Blondage.
Yes.
That sounds
That's
interesting.
cool. We're gonna have to look that shit up.
Yes, you do have to. And they used to do that move together.
Team Blondage.
And she hadn't done that move in over 20 years.
Wow.
And now, when she goes to do it,
So she's been wrestling that long.
yes.
Oh shit.
Wow.
She's trying to get to the point.
Anyway, she goes to do it. I'm thinking less. I'm thinking, man, she's just a grandma. She's not going to hit me. There's no way. Boy, was I wrong. I ate my words that day. When she came and hit me, she flew. Grandma came flying. They say Grandma got run over in there, man. Grandma flew into my face and made me suck her ass.
Oh shit!
And when she got me, there was actual blood coming out of my mouth. Like, yeah, it was a little bit. I didn't say she killed me, but there was blood coming out of my mouth. And I remember thinking, she's done now. She is done now. And then, of course, as you all know what happened at the end, my queen was held up for hostage. And
She was. They did you dirty, Jerry.
They really did. They really
That
did
was-
give me dirty.
It was messed up.
I felt
Don't
horrible.
worry, I'm going to get my comeuppance next year when I challenge for the Bombshells Championship. 2022, I'm going to become Bombshells Champion again. I'll make it happen. Whoever that person is.
I'm sure.
Okay.
It could be Betty White.
I got another question, and then these are just a few that I jotted down that I wanted to ask.
Oh, absolutely.
And then I can, if these guys got anything that they want to ask, and
Go
I do.
Dream matchup. If you could have your dream match against anyone,
Like, you're talking about past, present, and
past,
future?
present, future, who? Yeah, just in when you're in your mind, that's that fantasy dream match. Who's standing across the ring from you?
Right now, as I close my eyes and I think Billy Gunn.
Oh, there you go.
Billy Gunn is one of those
Right on.
guys. He's one of the guys, past, present, and...
That's cool. I find that. I was gonna say find that kind of refreshing because
Not
it's
many
not.
people pick.
It's not the your
Shawn
your
Michaels,
usuals. You know,
Your
like,
Undertaker.
oh yeah, it's the Undertaker. That's Stone Cold. You know, or Ric Flair. You know what I mean? Billy Gunn. You know what I mean? That
Billy
to
Gunn-
me, that makes it genuine. It was like
Because you think... when you think of
I agree,
guys...
Bill.
When you think of guys that you can kind of say, Jerry Swirlz reminds me of this person or that person. I'm not saying... And God forbid I ever say I like to compare myself to Billy Gunn.
right.
But what I'm
right.
saying is that the character's there.
Yeah.
The expression, the ass is there, obviously.
Right.
Mr. Ass, Mr. Ass
Mr.
meets
Ass.
Mr. Suck My Ass. Imagine that. Now imagine that. Imagine that. That's somebody that I could stand across the ring with and say, dang, I'm wrestling Billy Gunn.
you guys, your tag team name. You guys should call yourselves Ass for Days.
That's for with a Z at the end. With a Z at the end. There you go. I mean, between him, there's also one more person too, Jeff Hardy.
Oh yeah.
Jeff
dude.
Hardy, in my opinion, that's another one that I would-
Charismatic enigma, dude.
Yes.
Jeff is
That's old C-Roy.
Roy's
It's-
favorite.
Mhm.
Well, it's just the Hardy Boys, but especially Jeff.
Yeah.
So
Sure. Jeff Hardy was on. Jeff Hardy definitely. But
Cool.
yeah, those are my two that I would like to wrestle, past, present, or future.
Right
And,
on.
you know, if they don't retire by the end of in a couple of years, you know, maybe there's some hope for Jerry
Hey,
Swirlz.
Hey, you never know, dude.
You know,
Otherwise, I'll have to keep narrowing down the list because it's
Yeah.
a lot of old people.
I know it, dude. I'm telling you.
No offense to their ages, of course.
right, no, absolutely.
Kyle,
Anyway.
was there a
Kyle,
question you
any
wanted to ask?
questions that
I
you
actually got an interesting question I like to ask wrestlers. What is your favorite type of match? What kind of wrestler are you? Are you a singles competitor? Are you a hardcore wrestler? Tag team? What's your niche?
My niche, honestly, if I really had to say, I'm open to the realm of reality being broken. So, like, I'm open to any kind of match. I don't care if it's intergender. I don't care if it's tag team. I don't care if it's even comedy. Because obviously, you know, that's my best forte.
Right.
But for me, I could do any match.
So you're the type of guy you'd be down to do like a Firefly Funhouse type match.
I'd be down for that. The only thing I'm not down for is a death match. I'm going to be honest about that.
Oh,
Here's
okay.
why. I have so much respect for people that put themselves through that. Now, would I be open to doing one? Yes, but that's it. It's only,
Right,
it's
right.
only going to be one.
Just to say I did one.
Yes, just to say I did one. But for me, if I really had to narrow it down to like one, I mean, like I said, any match I could do, I would be open and down to doing. But if I had to pick one again to do, I think the match that, well, like I say, I don't mean to keep talking about it, and I don't want to just put this over,
By
but
all
like the
means,
tap or die
man.
match, the
Yeah.
tap or die, and that kind of a match. But I want to do something different with that. Turn it up into a cinematic match. See how that turns
Yeah,
out.
That would be cool.
It'd be different. It'd be different. Now,
That would
I
be cool.
And you know what? The cinematic matches, they really started becoming something because of COVID.
Yeah.
You know the cool thing though is where ARW, their new home there in Vieira. I remember seeing the movie screens. So, and I'm thinking a cinematic type match could be a possibility at an ARW show because they can pull the screens down and show a cinematic match on that.
Oh,
You know what,
I
I
didn't think of.
It's just my own thought, you know. I'm like,
Interesting.
why
Just
couldn't
gotta
that
get
be
a
done?
projector.
That
That's
would
it.
take, I mean, the crowd could watch, on those, on those screens. They could watch the match, and you could actually just play this cinematic type match.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Now
I
the question is, would the audience be willing to watch all that? That's a
Right.
big question. I think
Yeah.
that could. I think we can. I could probably pass some knowledge or some information down. But I can't say. I mean, I'll see.
Right.
I'll take a look. I'll put bird in the bush and see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll
Right
see.
on.
All right.
Right on.
Go ahead, Joe.
Joe?
So I do have a question for you. Okay, so growing up, you explained, the era you watched growing up, the Ruthless Aggression.
Jerry Swirlz.
If you had to pick one match that stood out, one match that like just hooked you as a fan, what was that match?
The one match that is coming to mind right now for me, with this aggression era, it's got to be Chris Benoit. There, I say that name in vain. It's Chris Benoit
You say it here, buddy.
versus Triple H versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 20.
Very good choice.
That was a
That
very
is a
good match.
That's one of the matches that I kind of watched later on, and looking back at it, it's kind of eerie looking at the similarities of the Daniel Bryan, Batista, Triple H, or
Yeah,
Randy
it
Orton,
is.
Triple H, Randy Orton. Looking at that, but that's
At
one.
30.
That's one of the matches that sticks out to me, like as a fan,
Very good
because that right there shows how just the story that was being told of like the hardworking man Chris Benoit was.
Yeah.
And you have Shawn Michaels, the man that is currently in the rivalry with Triple H, and Chris Benoit were in the Royal Rumble, and he was a SmackDown guy, so him going over to Raw was a big deal at that time.
Absolutely.
And for him to just show up and say, sign the contract, here you go, like that right there, to me, bought me in big time. And I guess you could say the number two, the other one that I actually got to watch was SummerSlam, the night Randy Orton won the world title.
Against
Benoit.
Chris Benoit.
That was actually a big deal to me.
I remember
Because
that
how- Because
match.
of how young he was.
Yeah.
And he was the youngest, he became the youngest world champion at, I think, 24.
24, yeah.
And
Yep.
the fact that he did that, and they had this killer match. I mean, unfortunately, it doesn't get talked about as much as it should be, but that match put Randy Orton on that pathway to leading to success.
It really is unfortunate that Benoit did what he did because he had a very knowledgeable career.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, absolutely.
I mean, yeah, I mean, he was one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So,
You know,
For sure.
any other questions?
Only one more question. I just wanted to ask. So when you got into pro wrestling, what was like when you went to the schooling, you got trained and everything? What was your very first match? Your very first match that you had in front of an audience, not necessarily filmed,
Okay.
but your very first match to where Jerry Swirlz got his experience for the very first time.
Like
Like the very first person who laced boots up and it was ding ding, the bell rang, you got that very, your very first time of that
Believe
taste.
it or not, my first match was a triple threat match
Really?
out in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
And believe it or not, it wasn't as Jerry Swirlz. I wasn't even as Jerry Curls. It was I was under a hood, and I was called Razor Flash.
Wow.
Big fan of the Flash, and I love Razor Ramon, Scott Hall. So
Alright,
put
good mixture.
two and two together, and I just thought pretty much this works. And when I went out there, man, I was nervous. I think for anybody that I can
Sure,
speak,
man. I mean, that's your first time, You had to pop that cherry. I mean, seriously. Metaphorically, but I'm just saying, I mean, dude, that's awesome. I mean,
yeah, it's
That's
being
great.
it's being a triple threat match nonetheless. It's
and
my first
honestly-
actual match. Like that's crazy to think about.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
Like the that you could, and I can find footage of this match, and like I can just see where I look back at it sometimes, and I kind of can see where, man, you see the early stages of what Jerry is going, what Jerry can be. Like you can kind of see where it's like, oh, snap.
versus to where you are now.
Yeah, like it was.
Absolutely.
I mean, for sure, I wasn't. I back then I was like, oof, man, it was rough. It was rough. It
Well,
was.
everybody
It's
is,
rough to
though,
get past
starting
that.
out,
Trust me.
Everybody is, and the one thing is like, we've noticed, like, because we go to all those ARW shows, we see you evolve each time. And whether it's playing one side of Jerry Swirlz or another, you still have that entertainment aspect where you can still hook those fans in.
Well, you want to know something? And this is something that I learned a long time ago. I tried to take that character away. I think you guys seen that, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. The Jerry Serious thing.
Yeah.
I tried something that wasn't me, and
Yeah.
it took me one match to really realize that and sit down and think, man, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Obviously,
Right.
like I gathered myself and I realized, like, and this is something even that resonated with me when I watched Big E talk about this on Talking Smack, and a lot of and obviously I got a lot of stuff from the back that guys told me, like, why try to fix something that isn't already broke?
right.
Why try to fix something that already works? And that's the thing. People want to talk about being a serious wrestler, and I have absolutely respect for the ones that know the pure wrestling. That I respect.
Right, like the technician,
Like
the
the stuff-
technical.
Yes, like you have your technicians, you have your guys that know this, that, the other, and it's just like there's another. Wrestling isn't just one thing.
Yeah.
There's wrestling is like ice cream. There's different flavors. There's different types of
absolutely.
things, and I've actually learned that from I've learned that from a lot.
That
of
makes
guys
sense
that
though, because when you really think about it, like you look at certain stars and just they bring a little something to the plate.
Well, a guy that immediately comes to mind for me, R-Truth. I mean, you think about it, the dude. I mean, legit can wrestle. I mean, he's been a world champion.
In
I mean,
TNA,
Ron
that's
Killings.
right.
I mean,
Yeah, I
the
forgot
dude.
about that.
I mean, he's not just comedic, but
There's all aspects.
but he
Yeah.
But he should. But you look at it and people joke like, man, I can't believe he's still doing it. He's still around. He's still there. All these people get released. But I'll be damned if he does not get his TV time week in, week out. He's at all the shows.
He makes
because
Vince
he brings
McMahon
right.
laugh.
He brings something a little. He brings something different. Not only
Each
can
time.
he perform, when it comes in the ring, but he's got that little extra something, dude, that just makes
And that's
people
what
enjoy
And
seeing.
he's been around a long time.
Yes, he has.
he's in his 50s.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing about it is he brings something different. You talk about bringing something different each and every time, and that's what I have learned to adapt to now. I've learned
Yeah.
to adapt. I have learned to keep and emulating this, and it keeps growing every single time too. Like, I think this is probably the best Jerry Swirlz that I'm at right now. This
Yeah.
is.
I mean,
this
I
is,
dig it.
This is the.
You dig it?
This. Thank you.
For real, man. I mean, honestly, dude, keep all jokes aside, very entertaining, man. We love Jerry Swirlz.
Like when we were talking, earlier, man. When we go to these shows, I mean, we don't get me wrong. We look forward to seeing all the competitors,
We
all
do.
the matches, but there's certain guys that you kind of go there. There's that little extra, like you want to.
Even that
What
shady
sort of
dude.
antics are they going to do? What's
Jay.
going to
Shady
happen
Jay.
in their match? Jason Dugan, obviously, he's gonna. There's gonna be some shady shit going on. It's a
He's
given.
just a
man.
shady mother.
It's like an overcast day when he comes out there. So much shade he can throw out there. But you know what? But that's what you want to see. You look
Yeah.
forward to seeing.
You expect
Dude,
that.
how is he gonna pull? What's he gonna do to win this week? How's he gonna fucking pull
Although
this shit off?
Although, dude,
RJD, another one. What sort of crazy antics is this guy gonna do? Where he running out into matches, and then
Next week.
Chico Adams is another one. And I always
who's he
look
gonna
at his
scream at?
yeah, he's just yelling, just screaming. I mean, just right down to the plaid shorts that he comes out in, it just makes me laugh. And Jerry Swirlz.
321 Screws got the
You're
favorite.
the other one.
Jerry
It's just
Swirlz,
like-
dude.
It's just. I
Thank
mean,
you
you
so
guys are
much.
some other ones.
Yeah.
It's not just the matches. It's that
It's
extra.
the-
what we're
well,
talking about. That
it's-
there's a little extra something that comes
What they bring
with
to
your
the
guys
table.
and your characters.
Yeah, what they bring to the table.
Exactly. And
You
you
know?
look. It's just you look forward to that. It's just like when they're announcing you guys coming out of your matches, and when you hear those names, okay, this ought to be good. This is gonna be, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Here
it's
we go.
insane.
Here we go. Here we go. And,
that you when you first hear that music and when that person makes their entrance, it's like you already know they're gonna. It's like, oh yeah,
Exactly.
this is it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So, and that's that's how we all feel about about you guys. And like I said,
And a bunch
you're right
of,
there,
you
one
know,
of them.
That ARW, man, is very. They're fastly moving, dude. They're going places.
That is a question I wanted to ask you, real quick before we finish this stuff up. Is the direction the ARW is going? I mean, what?
I think we're in the right direction. I think this is.
Absolutely.
I think now. People say now or never. This is the now. There ain't no never.
Yeah.
Like the now is Fight TV
Yeah, man.
every Thursday night. Now it's just time for everybody to step up on the
Yeah.
roster. And I speak that for myself too, obviously.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's
Oh,
got to
yeah,
be
dude.
kind of crazy.
You guys
to
are
think.
gonna have
You
that
got people in
exposure.
the UK now. You got people in the UK that are tuning in and
That's-
watching
and
Europe,
that-
your
yeah.
match.
And people.
I saw Alex post about
And here's
that.
here's a dream of mine. Like, and I'll shoot on this one too. Like a dream of mine. I obviously I want to go to WWE. I want to go to AEW. But like my main dream is to go to the UK. I want to just wrestle there. And if Atomic can do something, maybe it might take it may take years. It may take decades. But if there's a time that we can get to the UK, I'm happy. I'm drop toe hold, literally beg my knees, cry. I'll be like, I have made it. I have freaking made it.
So
I
you're
already
saying-
have it made right now in Atomic, but once we get over like out of the country, that's
Oh, yeah.
the only things go up. It just
When you go international.
So what
That's
you're
what-
saying is you would right now you would jump at an opportunity to step in the ring with Walter.
yes,
Oh, boy.
I do it.
Holy
I would do it.
shit.
I love Walter.
Did you
I
see that
Talk
match?
about a chop.
You know which one I'm talking about.
I think so.
It was
Probably.
devastating, dude.
The one that
Oh,
gets
my God.
Dragunov.
Remember that? You remember that?
Tagging off
Shiro?
from Walter for the. world
He is,
title.
he's
Dude,
an
I
impressive
felt
guy.
like I
man.
was in pain after watching
Dude,
that.
when I watched that match the next morning, I had a bruise on my chest.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah. But that would be cool though, man. That's kind of crazy, you know. And so
It's very interesting.
we'll keep an eye out in NXT UK for you.
Well,
Yeah.
well, Bill, I feel like we got to learn a lot about Jerry Swirlz tonight.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else that you would just
You know,
Anything you
would want to share with
plug,
us?
I will. I'm actually going to plug right now.
Go for it.
Go follow yours truly, Jerry Swirlz, on Facebook, on Instagram, Jerry_Swirlz98. I do have Twitter. I somewhat use it. I rarely do. I got to start using it now. But you can follow me at JerrySwirlz_69. Yes, I know. I still got to change that handle. I am on TikTok too. I am under my personal name, so if you want to, but if you type in Jerry Swirlz, you should be able to find it. I have some old TikTok videos. I'm probably gonna start doing those more often. Obviously tonight. I mean, in about maybe 8 minutes or so, and I'm just looking at the clock right now as is. By the time that this comes out, watch me on Atomic Revolution Wrestling Extreme Takeover Thursdays on Fight TV.
That's right.
And of course, if you are subscribed to the one and the only, in Brevard County nonetheless, Space Coast Real Elite Wrestling 321SCREW podcast, do yourself a favor, go check them out. These are my guys right here. And if you're not subscribing, you're going to be sucking my ass. Plain and simple.
What he said.
Yeah, I mean, that pretty much covers it.
Thank you, Mr. Swirlz. My
So-
pleasure.
Absolutely, it was a pleasure.
Check us
sir.
out on YouTube. And be sure to
Oh,
give
YouTube as
this
well.
video thumbs up.
Give a like.
And check out the ARW review show.
Yes,
of Shamrock and
again,
Brawl,
again.
featuring
1,000
Jerry
apologies
Swirlz.
for the one behavior of Big Show.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Your punishment awaits.
Oh, boy.
Stay tuned.
So-
Stay tuned.
So, with that being said, I just want to, we're going to wrap this up here. Again, this has been an honor
It has.
for us
It's been
to
a
have
privilege.
you, Jerry Swirlz,
It's been my pleasure.
here in the beautiful, lush 321SCREW Studios.
Yeah, right.
So, Kyle,
So, lush.
And
Get ready. Here we
we
go.
look forward to seeing you at the next show, man.
Oh, you will. April 16th, the showcase of the future.
Uh-oh.
Absolutely.
And,
Who is you taking on?
Ooh, I am taking on Deimos and Teal Piper. Don't
Who's
worry,
your partner going to be?
Kelsey Reagan.
Uh-oh.
I wish it was Pamela Anderson, but
Watch
you know,
out now.
I didn't really have much of a choice because she's injured. But that's
Yeah.
okay, because guess what? Deimos, Teal Piper, the House of Heathens, they've been running roughshod at Atomic Wrestling. They've been taking out the competition. But when they step in the ring with Jerry Swirlz, it's a whole new ball game. Just putting that out there. And if they got an issue with that, then they both can suck my hot rod ass.
twice.
You heard it here, folks.
We'll see you next time right here on the 3, 2,
1, screw. Peace out.